So your cats and cars, guys. It starts like this. Civil aviation regulations are your cars. That the name gives it away, doesn't it? They are the regulations, they are the rules. They say you can do this, you can't do this. Plain and simple. If we go on to the CATs, which are your technical standards, civil aviation technical standards, this is where you now learn how to comply with the rules. Okay? The cars will say you can do this, you can't do this. The CATs will say this is how you can do this. This is why you can't do this. You then have what is called a TGM, which is a technical guidance material. Guys, it works like this. The car is the rule. It says you need to do this. The CAT is the responsibility. It says this is why you need to do this. This is how to do this. The TGM is then the step-by-step process. In other words, the TGM is the recipe. Okay, the car is make me this meal. The CATs is these are the ingredients for this meal. The TGM is you're going to put this in, you're then going to stir for 10 minutes, you're then going to put this in. It's your step-by-step process. Okay. Cool. So if we look at a sandwich making example, if my boss comes and he says, Josh, make me a sandwich, boom, I have a rule, right? I need to follow protocol. Okay, I've been given an order by who would be our captain in this instance, so I'm going to make him a sandwich. But I'm lazy. I'm going to make him a bread sandwich. There's a bread, there's another bread. You think he's going to be happy with that? He's not going to be happy with that. So what's he going to do? He's going to give me a step further. He's going to say, okay, Josh, I know what you're going to do, so let me give you the ingredients you need, okay? And then he's going to say tomato and lettuce and going to give me the ingredients. That's my CATs, okay? The cars is make the sandwich. The CATs is these are the ingredients. But now what if I decide just to be funny and pull a prank and then I put a tomato and then I put a lettuce and then I put a tomato and a lettuce and a tomato and then there's no bread and stuff like that, okay? That's where the TGM comes into play, where he then gives me detailed description. He's going to say, I want you to put a bread, you're going to butter the bread, you're going to put a cheese, you're going to put a lettuce, you're going to put a tomato, you're going to put another bread. Okay, that's how it works. That's your TGM. Okay. Cool. All right, guys, we have some important parts to know about. Who wants to take a guess what a part is? What the heck are they talking about by different parts?
The section in the regulation.
Absolutely. For anyone online who didn't hear that, your parts are just broken up sections in your regulations. Okay? What that means is this. We have helicopters. We have fixed wings. We have fighter jets. We have double-bladed helicopters. We have multi-rotors. We have VTOL drones. We have so many different aircrafts that there have to be so many different rules for each individual aircraft. Why would they make one giant document that is not organized and that you just got to flip and flip and flip and flip until you see, VTOL, and then learn? Or they could break it up into different sections and at the beginning of the document put a table that's saying if you want to know about VTOL, go to part 12. If you want to know about accidents, go to part... Okay, accidents is actually part 12, but you get the idea there, okay? It just breaks it up to make it easier for us to skip all the paging and just look at the table and see where we actually need to go, okay? On these parts, guys, there are a couple parts that are left out. Part 1, okay, it's a very good idea to go look at part 1, abbreviations and definitions. Why is that important? Because I wasn't kidding when I said that aviation is its own language. Okay, if you don't learn the abbreviations and definitions, you're going to always be behind a little bit in aviation. So that one is easy enough though, guys, because you don't need to learn every single abbreviation. But definitely any abbreviation that is familiar to you, you want to go ahead and learn that one. Okay, so if you heard me say there's an abbreviation in this class, then you want to go and learn that abbreviation, okay? So that's part 1. Then we go on to part 12, aviation accidents and incidents. We will talk about these different parts and what they all entail. I'll also show you how to actually find them. Okay. Then you've got part 61 is your pilot licensing. Part 71 is your UAS pilot certificate. So in other words, part 71 is your RPAS personnel or your UAS personnel. In other words, personnel means what? Personnel, it's people who apply to a certain circumstance. So if you are an RPAS or a UAS personnel, it means that you're someone who has a license for drones. Okay. Then you've got part 101. Part 101 is your remote pilot aircraft systems. Used to be abbreviated as RPAS. No longer abbreviated as RPAS. The abbreviation has been replaced with the abbreviation UAS, Unmanned Aerial System. Therefore, you do not say part 101 is RPAS any longer. You have to say part 101 is your remotely piloted aircraft systems. That is the full name. Okay. If you say part 101 is RPAS, an examiner, depending on the examiner, they're either going to smack you on the hand. Okay, it will be playful, but still it's a smack on the hand. Or they're going to laugh at you and say, no, what is the full name? Okay. Why am I saying that? Because guys, examiners are people that you normally freak out about. I want you to know that every single examiner I've ever come across has always been an awesome person. Except one, and she just happened to be the only female one I know as well. Yeah, but she wasn't so awesome. Okay, but the rest of them are normally very cool. Okay. Cool. If you are going to start with any of these, you are going to start with part 101. Why is that?
It's applicable.
Give you a whole view of what remote pilot technical system is about.
Damn right. Okay, so yes, it is. It's the applicability thing. We need to know, as a drone pilot, we need to know our paths. But beyond that, we then have what was brought up to our attention now. It's the overview, okay? Because all of these are applicable to us. Because we all need to know certain elements about them. For example, part 67, medical certification. That's not in part 101, but we know that we need to get a medical, and we know that we need to find a way to do that. So where do we find that information? Part 67. However, how are we going to know that we need to do that? Part 101. Part 101 is the overview part. You read through the whole of part 101, and it will tell you within there, it will point out the other parts that you need to go and check out. So part 101 is your first step. Okay, that's the first step. Because it'll then say, okay, go check part 67 about medicals. Go check part 187 about fees and charges. Okay. Alright. Which then takes us to the last two. Part 185, is your enforcements. Okay. What will happen if you don't go along with some rules and regulations? If you guys want to cry a little bit, you got to go and check out part 185. And then part 187 is your fees and charges. Okay. So if you want to submit a document to the CAA, how much do you have to pay them? If you want to do this and this and this, how much do you have to pay them? Okay. Cool. All right.